Hi everyone and welcome to Lipstick on a Rig. Today we're going to be making the slouchiest beanie that I have ever made. For this project I'm going to be using size 4 medium weight acrylic yarn, and this is just the Big Twist Value brand and the color is mustard. And keep in mind that you are going to need 2 strands of yarn, but they don't have to be the same color, and we'll also be using a size K or 10.5 crochet hook. And go ahead and grab both strands of yarn, and what we're going to do is we are going to crochet these like they are one for the entire project. And we're going to begin this beanie by attaching the yarn to our crochet hook and then chaining 35. And if you're unfamiliar with any of the stitches used in this pattern, then please check the links in the description because I will have my stitch tutorials listed down there for you. And once you have your 35 chains in place, then go ahead and turn your work. And what we're going to do is we're going to skip this turning chain. And we're going to insert our crochet hook in the back loop only of our next stitch, and we're going to yarn over and pull through for a slip stitch. And we're just going to repeat that process for the first 7 stitches of this row. And once you have your 7 slip stitches in the back loop only, then what you're going to want to do is switch to single crochets. So these slip stitches are going to make up the brim, and these single crochets are going to make up the body of the beanie. So go ahead and place 1 single crochet in the full stitch of each of the stitches in the rest of your row. And when you get to the end of your row, it should look something like this. So you should have 7 stitches that are slip stitches in the back loops only, and then 27 stitches that are just single crochet stitches. So from here we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work. And so the pattern for this row is going to be to place 1 single crochet in your first 27 stitches, and then you're going to place 1 slip stitch in the back loop only of your last 7 stitches. And when you get to the end of your row, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. And the pattern for this row is going to be to place 1 slip stitch in the back loop only of our first 7 stitches, and then we're going to place 1 single crochet in the full stitch of our next 27 stitches. And when you get to the end of this row, you're just going to chain 1 and turn your work. And so from here, we're just going to repeat those last 2 rows over and over and over again to build the body of our beanie. I went ahead and crocheted my beanie until my brim reached about 18 inches. And so now I'm just going to fold my beanie in half like this. So one thing to note, make sure that you've placed your last row so that your crochet hook is on the side where you have your slip stitches. So from here we're going to slip stitch these 2 edges together. So what we're going to do is we're just going to insert our crochet hook in the available loop on this first row that we created. And then we're going to insert our crochet hook up underneath the full stitch on the last row that we just made. And we're just going to yarn over and pull through all the loops on our crochet hook for a slip stitch. And we're just going to repeat these steps for the first 7 stitches of this row to join the slip stitches together. And then once you've joined your 7 slip stitches, then you're going to insert your crochet hook up underneath the available loop on your first row and up underneath the full stitch of your single crochet, and you're just going to do the same thing by yarning over and pulling through for a slip stitch. And you're just going to repeat this step for all the loops in your row until you get to the top of your beanie and both sides are joined together. And once you're done joining your 2 edges together, then we're just going to chain 1 and cut and tie off our yarn. So our next step is to cut a strand of yarn that is roughly 2 feet in length. And then making sure that we're working on the same side as our starting and ending tail, we're just going to weave this strand of yarn all the way along the edge of our beanie. And we're going to space the weave out about every inch to inch and a half. And once you're done weaving that strand of yarn, then go ahead and grab both ends of your strand of yarn and pull them nice and tight to cinch up the top of your beanie. And then just go ahead and tie the 2 ends of your yarn strands together so that you can secure the top of your beanie. And then once you're done, go ahead and turn your beanie inside out. And in case you're interested, this is what our seam looks like. And in the description, I will link to my DIY pom-pom maker. Please let me know in the comments below if you experienced any issues while you were making this, and I will do my best to help you out. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel, Lipstick on a Rig. Thank you so much for working with me, and I hope you have a wonderful, awesome day.